Hello, welcome back to day 4. So we have done our setup, front end, back end. We have created our modules with our Prisma. So now let's talk about authentication API. So let's create our authentication APIs. So our authentication API is going to be the gateway to protecting our application because we don't want everybody to be coming using our application. We want to authenticate people coming in there. So we'll be building our sign up and our login APIs with JWT and password hashing. We use JWT to create our tokens. You're going to see everything we are going to do here, and we'll need to hash our password. So you're going to see what we do here. So this is brought to you courtesy of the Global Genius. The Global Genius is my e-learning platform that my paid students actually take classes from. Okay, you have seen some of the platform when I show it here. Okay, so we have full stack web development course that will help you to master whatever you're seeing here, whatever you're learning here. Because for you to really build applications on your own and do stuff like this, you need to really understand what is going on behind the scenes. So that is what we take time to teach you in the Global Genius. All right. So what are we building today? And before I even continue, we are extending this application. We are adding AI features. So it's not just, it is no longer fintech app. It's not an AI powered fintech app. Okay, it's not an AI powered fintech app. And good news is that this particular 30 days AI fintech tag is going to be free of charge. All right, it's going to be free of charge. Okay, but if you want coaching and mentorship, if you want me to attend to you when you have issues, when you have all those things, you need to buy my mentorship program because you don't expect me to be attending to you. This is what I do. I need to eat. I need to take care of myself. I need to pay my bills. So I'm here doing business. But if you can handle this thing without having any errors, no problem. This playlist 30 days fintech app is going to be for free of charge. So if you have errors, sort them yourself, no problem. But if you want my personal coaching, if you want my time, just enroll into my mentorship program. Okay. All right. Now, in day 4 of the 30-day, this is the day 4 of the 30-day fintech app build. We are implementing authentication, which is how users create accounts. So we'll be showing you how we are going to create accounts for users. We will log in securely. All right, and then we'll prove who they are. So we cannot just take in anybody. So there is a token we'll be generating from our back end that will send over to the user. Okay, so you're going to say others, and I will take time to explain all of them. All right, so every real fintech app must protect user accounts. Not only fintech app, every real application must protect user accounts. They should also authenticate. Authentication is non-negotiable. You must authenticate your application. So authentication concept, let's talk a little bit. We don't worry, we are going to write a lot of code. Don't worry, but you need to understand what we are really doing here. What is authentication? Authentication answers one question. Who do you say you are? Are you a user of this application? Are you really a user of this application? So because we are going to be creating tokens that will send over to when a user signs up or when a user logs in, they cannot have access to the application until they sign up or they log in. So when they log in or when they sign up, we are going to give them a token. So when the front end wants to make request from the back end, they will send us that token. We will take that token and take a look at it and say, oh, are we the one that gave this person this token? So if that's cool, that means that will be a pass for them. So who is the user? We verify their identity using their email and their password. All right. We verified secure password hashing too. So we also identify them using tokens. So as we go on writing code, I'm going to show you all this. So we have also the data design for our fintech app. Now, JWT is what we are using to generate the tokens. JWT is a secure token that identifies a user. So whenever a user logs in, we are going to generate a token and we'll give it to them. So that whenever they want to come to our application again, they will come with that token. So anybody that's coming to our application, we are going to ask them of a token. If they don't have that token, that means they are not an authenticated user. But even if they have give us a token, we have to verify the token too. Okay. So this token identifies the user. It is sent with every request. So every request that the front end will make to the back end, they must send us this token. It prevents users from re-logging in repeatedly. So whenever we generate a token, we can log the user in for 7 days, for 1 month. But whenever they are making a request, they must give us that token. Okay. So now the data flow is the user will log in. All right, the user logs in. The server will generate a token for the user. Okay, then the client will store this token. All right. So the user will log in. That's the front end. The user using the front end application will log in. Then the back end server will generate the token. Then the back end will send the token back to the client. That's the user. The user or the client will store the token. Then this token is sent with every request, every API request they make to our database. Okay. So now that is for token. Password must never be stored as plain text. When you say your password is 12345 6 blah blah blah, it can never be stored as plain text. We have to hash the password. Whenever a user gives us their password, we have to hash it, especially when they are signing up. So we use bcrypt. Bcrypt is a library that has actually made everything easier for us to hash password and unhash them. Okay, so we encrypt them and decrypt them. So it converts password into unreadable hashes. So when we use bcrypt to hash this password, you cannot read it as a human. So it prevents database leaks from exposing real passwords. So imagine we are storing the password in a plain text, it will be easy for people to hack. So now let's get into it. The first thing we are going to do is to install bcrypt and JSON Web Token. So now let's go to our code. Now remember, this is where we stop. So before I go in doing anything, I'm going to create a branch. I'll call it day 4. Git switch. I'll call it day 4. Okay, so now I am in my day 4. So I can now go and say npm install. Remember, I can, instead of saying install, I can say npm install bcrypt. I hope I get it correctly. Then JWT token. No, JWT token. Let me see if I got it right. Sorry, JSON Web Token, not JWT. Bcrypt, JSON Web Token. We are still going to install that later, but let's do JSON, not JSON Web Token. Okay, so let's install it. Let's wait for it to install. All right, installation complete. So the next thing we are going to do is to install the types for this bcrypt. So we install as dependency our types bcrypt and our type JSON token. So let me go back to my terminal. So I'm just going to go back to what I already have. I'm going to say install, and as a dependency, then I'm going to say at types /bcrypt. Then I will go back here and I'll say at types /JSON Web Token. I will hit enter. So let's wait for it to install. All right, installation complete. All right, so now let's go to the slide. So now with this, we have installed our bcrypt, the library that we'll be using that's a package we are using to hash our password. JSON Web Token is what we use to create and verify tokens that we'll be sending to clients when they make requests. So the types this is just for TypeScript sake. The second installing we did the add types, and this is just for TypeScript support. Okay, so now the next thing is to let us create a hashing utility. When we say utility, we want to create a reusable library. So the code that we are going to write now, we want to write our hashing, the code that will be hashing our password and checking our password, so we can reuse it from anywhere. So we are going to create a folder called utils, and we'll create a hash.ts file. So now this is what I'm going to do. So this is what I'm going to do. So I am going to create, inside of my source, I'm going to create a folder. I will call it utils. Okay, then I will call this one the hash.ts. Okay, so I hit enter. So this is my hash.ts file. Okay, so now I am going to write this code, this piece of code now. So um so first thing first, I will import bcrypt. I will import bcrypt, crypt, import bcrypt. Why am I not saying it? I'll import bcrypt from B. Okay, all right. It wasn't giving me IntelliSense. I was wondering. Then I'm going to create a constant. I'll call this thing sort round. Now, this our hashing, all right. This is this sort round is what we are going to use to it improves it makes our hashing more formidable. Okay, I don't know how to go on to explain it, but it just helps our hashing. Okay, so I'm going to now create a function. I will call it hash password. So this is what we are going to be using to hash our password. So hash password is going to be an asynchronous function. Okay. So it's going to be an asynchronous arrow function. All right. So let me see what I have here. So it will take a password. It will take in it will take a password parameter. Password, and it's going to be type of string. Okay. Sorry if you don't understand TypeScript. In my full stack web development course, I have these courses in it. So if you buy that course, you're going to learn all these things that you see I'm doing here. So we are going to hash the password and we'll return the password. And then it would also take the sort. Okay. The sort run. Okay, so look at what we are doing here. I hope everything is correct. Okay, so now we are creating a function called hash password, and this function is an asynchronous function. It will take in a parameter of password. So when we want to hash our password, we are going to give it the password that the user gave us. So once the user gives us the password, we'll now use the hash function from the bcrypt package, and then it will hash this password using this sort round. This sort round is just used for, it helps in making our hash stronger. That's the best I can explain that now. Okay. So, like I said, in our full course, we take time to explain all these things, but right now I don't have that luxury of time. Okay. So now the next, after inside of the hash.ts file, we also need to create this function. This function is going to use to compare. So now, when we hash the password during sign up, then during signing, during login, we need to also compare because the user will also give us their users would also give us their password in plain. Then when they give us their password in plain, we need to compare the password that they gave us and the password that we have from our database. So we are going to use this function to compare. So it's also going to be an asynchronous function that will take in it will take in the hashed password, and this hash password is going to be of type string, and then it's an arrow function. What else do we have here? Let me see what we have here. Okay, so it takes in both the password and the hash password. So it will take in the password as a string, and then so it will take the it will take it will in the when we are comparing it, we will give it the hash password and the plain password. Okay, so it will return bcrypt because there is a function called compare. All right, this compare function would compare the password and the hashed password. It will come. So this compare password will take the password and the hashed password. Sorry, okay. So it will compare the two of them because now when the user signed up, we hash their password and store it in the database. Now, if the user now comes in, they want to log in, they are going to give us the password. Then we are going to compare the two, the one we have in the database and the one they gave us. So this function would compare it, then will return the results. Okay, and so that's what the compare password does. So the next line of code is, so I've already explained this thing. The search round controls the security level. The higher the number of this search round, the stronger or the higher the security. Okay, then hashing is one way. You cannot reverse it. Once you hash it, you can't reverse it, but you can actually compare it. So now the next step is to create our JWT utility. Now we have completed our hash functions. So we have the one that will hash the password. We have the one that will compare the password. Then the next thing to do now is to create our JWT. Now JWT is what we use to create the tokens. All right. When the user signs up or logs in, we create a token that they'll be using to identify themselves. So we will create a JWT, a JWT.ts file inside of the utils. Inside of here, we'll create a file called JWT.ts. Now, the first thing is to import JWT. Okay, that's the first thing to do. Okay, sorry, why the error? Okay, sorry, I got the wrong one. JWT. Okay, so it's correct now. Then let me just put, now look at it here. We are having we have a constant called JWT secret, and it is in our env file. Okay, and we are casting it as a string. So I'm going to come to that. We are going to generate this JWT secret. So, but we need it. We need a JWT secret. So I will go back so the next thing is to create a constant. We'll call it JWT secret. So you need to create this secret. All right, I'm going to show you how we are going to generate it. So I will get it from EMV, from the EMV file, and it is called JWT secret. And we are going to cast it JWT secret. Am I correct? Now, we are going to cast it to be a string. So because it's possible that it might not be available. It's possible that it might not be available. So the type cannot be undefined. So that is why we are typecasting it to be a string. So this is basically TypeScript. Like I said, we have a full course that teaches you all these things. So as you're taking this portfolio project, just be writing the code I'm writing, fix it, make sure that you're building this project. But you will need to master all these things. That is why you have to buy that course. Okay. So now I'm going to create a function that can be exported. I'll call it generate. So this is going to generate our token. This function is going to generate, whenever we want to generate a token, a JWT token, we are going to use this function. So it is going to, is an arrow function. When I talk of arrow function, if you don't understand it, this is that the things we teach in the full stack, in our full stack course, in our JavaScript, we taught you types of function. So this is going to take a user ID. So it's going to take the ID of the user. So we are going to use the user ID. All right. We use for every user, we are going to generate a token for them. So based on their user, we are using their user ID to generate a token for them. So now we are going to return. All right. There is a function in JWT dot sign. So this sign will take in an object, okay, user ID, and then it also take the JWT secret. JWT secret. Okay. Now we would also tell so after that, there is another object. So just follow what I'm doing here. So we say expires in. So we are saying that whatever we are giving, this token will expire in 7 days. Okay, so look at my code. Let me expand it. Okay, first of all, yes, everything is correct here. So let me expand my code so that you can get it right. This generate function, all right, will be exported from this module. So it takes in a user ID as a parameter, and then we are using the JWT.sign method to create to generate a token. So we will give it an object that has this user ID in it like this, then JWT secret, all right, that we are going to generate later, and then this object has expires in. So the token we are going to generate now will expire in 7 days. So whenever the user signs in or sign up and get this token, it will expire it will last for 7 days, and after 7 days it will expire. So if you want it to last like 1 day, 2 days, you can actually make the changes here. Okay, all right. So now we have it, our generate token function here. The next thing is, let us explain. Now this token contains the user ID. So we are using the user ID to generate this token. It expires in 7 days, and the secret protects the token integrity. So now, how do we generate JWT secret? It is very simple. The most recommended one is to use the crypto model in Node.js. So I want you to Node.js has a built-in crypto model that generates secure random string. So with the crypto model, we can generate random string for our JWT. So the JWT secret is just a random string. So you see this line of code. All right. Now let's look at what I'm going to do. Okay. I want you to do the same thing. Look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, oh, sorry about that. Okay, see what I'm going to do. I'm going to go outside of all of this. All right, look at it. I'm going to create a file outside of all the two folders. I will call it jwt.ts. I just want to generate a token. All right. So inside of this file, I'm going to, after generating the token and copy it, I'm going to delete this file. So I'm going to say import random. Okay, look at what I'm going to do. First of all, I will say import. I will give a space. I'll say from crypto. Um, oh. Okay, I'll say crypto. Uh, why is this giving me this error? Um, So I will say, okay, random bytes. Okay, I'm okay. Everything is fine. Okay, so everything is fine. So I'm going to generate. So I'll write this piece of code. We are going to use it to generate our token. I'll say JWT secret. All right, and then I will use the random bytes. Uh, I'm going to see. There's no need to even explain this code. Just copy what I'm doing. I'm going to say random byte 32, then dot to string. Dot to string has, okay, dot to string, and it will be a hexadecimal. Okay, now once I have done that, I'm going to console.log it so that I can copy it. So that function, this line of code is going to generate it for me. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to say console.log JWT secret. Okay, so look at what I'm going to do. Let me expand my file. So remember, we are inside of this folder, the Fintech app folder. Oh my God, do you know that we have been doing the wrong installation? Oh my God, this installation is supposed to be done in the backend folder. My God. All right, so I'm just going to pause. First of all, let me generate my token first, then I'm going to fix it. So the things we have been installing it in the wrong folder. So, but let's just complete this. I'm going to say node. I'm going to say node. I'll say JWT dot um, TS, and I will run. So look at it. Look at what it has generated for me. Look at it here. Do you see it? So it has cons AB531. So that's my own. Your own will be different. So copy it. Go to your backend folder. Oh, we made a lot of mistakes here, but we are just going to correct it. Go to your backend folder. All right. Create, call it JWT underscore secret. Okay, is equal to, you can paste this like this, or you can put it in a double quote like this, or you can paste it like that, but just put it in double quote. So we have our JWT secret, all right? So now let us go and fix this error we had here. So all these things we installed here, they were not in the, we are supposed to be in the backend. So first thing first, do cd backend. Do cd backend. That is where the installation is supposed to happen. Then go back and install bcrypt and JSON Web Token. Okay. So I will hit enter. Okay. But if I come here, do I have bcrypt? I think I have bcrypt here. And it doesn't seem like there's, okay. So, but to be on a safer side, let's just go and do it. To be on a safer side. Okay. Just to be on a safer side. Okay. Then the next thing is inside of the back end. Although this didn't give us any error, but please, to be on the safer side, let's just go. And okay, so I just hope this doesn't break our code. So this is fine now. We have generated our JW secret. So let me go and delete this file. I will delete it because we don't need it anymore. All right, so that is it. So now, the next thing is to now create our sign up endpoints. Before I continue, let me try and run our code and see if everything is okay. So I will just go to, I will go to, I will say npm run server, npm run server. Let me be sure. Oh, sorry. npm run server, npm run dev, sorry, npm run dev. So let's make sure that our code didn't break. All right, everything is okay. Everything is okay. So that's good. So if you have gotten to this level, just type in everything okay. All right, everything okay. So now I will stop the server. I will stop the server. So the next thing is for us to create our sign up endpoint. So go to your controller. So I'm going to, do I have a controller folder here? So I would minimize this. Do I have a controller folder? No, I don't have a controller folder. So I will create a controller. I'll call it controllers. So instead of the controller, I'm going to create a file. I'll call it auth. So this is where our authentication logic would be handled. auth.controller.ts. All right. So the first thing I will do is to import Prisma. Remember that Prisma is the gateway to our database. So we import Prisma like this. Okay. Then the next thing is to import, because now we'll be using hash password. Remember the hash password we created in our utils.hash file. So using the bcrypt. So we are going to import it because we are going to be using it. We're also going to be using the generate token. All right. So let's go and import them because we'll be using them. We say import hash password. We'll import it. We would also import generate token. So you see that these are utility functions that we have already generate token. So we have defined the function once and we can reuse it. So the next thing is to this piece of code. So let's go and see. So I am going to, so as I write the code, I will explain. I'll say export const. So I'm going to create a function called sign up. I'm going to create a function called signup, and it's going to be an asynchronous function. All right. And this asynchronous function, sorry, is an asynchronous function. And this asynchronous function will take in rec and res. But first of all, we need to, rec is coming from the request type. Okay. And then, sorry, this one is coming from response. See, this, so one thing with TypeScript is that it is type. Everything is statically typed, not like JavaScript. So look at what I added. Make sure you add this line of code, and then make sure that your line of code here is also correct. Okay, I don't need to explain what we are doing here now. This is the things we explain in TypeScript. So it is expected that you know this thing. But even if you don't know them, no problem. Just keep on building your portfolio projects, and then you can start learning all these things and master them. If you really want to learn them well, you can go and buy my full stack web development course. Okay, it's just 300,000 naira. It contains 13 different courses, and I took time to teach you and explain all these things. It comes with mentorship. In short, if you buy that my full stack web development course, you don't even need to pay for any of my mentorship program. All right, if you buy the full stack web development course, you automatically buy the mentorship program. But if you don't have it, you have to buy the mentorship program differently. Okay, so that's by the way. Now I'm going to, what's it called again? I am going to, oh my God, destructure. I'm going to destructure everything coming from our rec.body. All right. I don't need to explain the structure in here. This is what we teach in the JavaScript class. So we are expecting that we will get the first name from the body that the user will give us when they are trying to sign up. They will give us their first name. They will give us their middle name is actually not compulsory, but we're also expecting it in case we get it. We're expecting their last name. Last name. Make sure that you have them like this. So watch what JavaScript or TypeScript is case sensitive. It's very, very case sensitive. So make sure that you're typing the exact thing. All right. Then we're expecting their email and we are expecting their password. And what else are we expecting? Okay. These are the things we are expecting. Okay. We are expecting all these things from rec.body. Now, so the next line of code. So we need to, okay, let me maybe start using some comments here. I will say extract or destructure, the structure from rec.body. All right. Okay. The structure from rec.body, and then the next line here would be check for an existing user, check for an existing user. So before anybody signs up, we need to check if there is any user with their email address, because we only want our email address to be unique. So no two users can have the same email address. So I'm going to call await, I'm going to use Prisma.user, and I'm going to find a unique user, all right, where um, where email, okay, all right. So what I'm saying here is that Prisma, please check for us if there is any user that has this email. The email that we are getting from the regular body that the user is giving us that they want to use to sign up, we want to check if there is any user with this email. So look at the code here. Make sure you have it like this. Now, this is going to return a user. So let's save it in a constant call user. Okay. So that means, okay, let me call it existing user. Okay, let me call it existing user. Okay, that means somebody already exists with this email address. So this is, we are checking. Now, once we do that, once this is true, so let's go to the next line of code. All right. So we are checking for an existing user. So once this is true, we now need to check if that is true. Okay. So if it is true, we want to have this. So I will bring up my editor and I might take it this far. Okay. So now the next thing is to check if the user exists. So if there is an existing user, if the existing user is not null, if it is not null, if it's a truthy value, I want to return from this function. So I will return, I'll say res.status. So we are going to send a 400 status code to the client. So we are telling them, oh, sorry about this. A user already exists. So we'll send a JSON message, and inside of it, we'll have a message, and then it would be a user already exists with this email address. A user already exists with this email. Okay, so we cannot give them access to sign up anymore. Okay, so we say email already in use. So whatever message, you can give your own message. So a user already exists with this email. So we are returning from this function. And then, so the next thing is, if that is not true, if the user does not exist, we'll continue. So the next thing is we are going to hash the user's password. Remember that the hash password is an asynchronous function. So we are going to use the await. Okay, this is correct. So we are going to use the hash password so that we'll hash the user password. Okay, remember that this hash password returns a string. So we are going to save it and we'll call it hashed password. So we'll call it hashed password. So before we save the user's password to our database, we need to first of all hash it. That's why we are using this hash password. Remember, we created this hash password in our we created this password somewhere else. So we are using it here. Now, once that is true, what are we going to do? We are going to now create a user using prisma.user.create. So we are creating a user. We'll say prisma.user.create. All right. It will take an object like this, and we are giving it data. So I am not going to explain everything I have here, but just do as I do. So we are going to give it first name. Don't we have first name here? What do we have? We have first name. Oh, okay. Seems like wait. Let me go to my Prisma. Okay. So I didn't change these things. So let me fix it. Okay, so for your own will be okay. All right. For me, change this to, I don't want full name. I want it to be first name. So if your own is not like this, I think I did some changes to my project. So first name, middle name, your own will be fine if you have been following me. It's just that I changed something. Middle name is going to be optional. And then last name is also going to be compulsory. Okay. So this is what I have here. I believe everything is cool. So I'm going to save it. I'll save it. I'll come to my terminal. I'm going to say nps prisma db push so that it would sync everything for me to the database. Oh, sorry. My God. My first name is not correct. Sorry. It's not spelled correctly. All right. So this is first. Yes, like this first name, middle name. Okay. So I will save it and I will go on with my MPS Prisma DB push. You don't have to do this because yours is already cool. So just go to your Prisma file, schema.prisma, your own is already correct. I made some changes. That is why my own was like this. So sorry about that. So while I wait for it, so now everything is in sync. So if I go back to my, where was I? Now, if I come back here, I can now. The reason why I was concerned is because I was not getting IntelliSense. You can see that it's giving me IntelliSense now, so everything is fine. First name, middle name, last name, email. Okay, all those other the active and all those things, they are all default. So by default, it is true and all those ones. So we are is only going to ask us for compulsory data. So password, all right, is equal to our hashed password. Okay, so this hash password, what is the challenge? It says, okay, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is, oh, sorry. It is hashed password, not, oh, sorry. It is hashed password, this one. It is hashed password. So everything is cool now, okay? But after the hash password, we need to create our wallet. So I will say wallet, all right? Wallet is going to be this, and we'll use the create method here. And our wallet, the balance is going to be 0. Although, yeah, so we are good. So everything is good. So look at the piece of code here. I hope everything is okay. Yes, everything is fine. Okay, so look at the piece of code. Make sure you can pause the video. All right, look at the piece of code here. So far, we are not done. Okay, then the next thing to do is to now the reason why I'm not using what's it called again commenter is that this is somehow very very readable. Well, you know what we are doing here. So now this thing, this prisma.create is going to return the user for us, so we can actually have it here. Okay, we can have it like this. Okay, so now the next line of code in this our sign up endpoint is we now need to generate a token. After generating the token, we now need to send it to the user. All right, so that's the next line of code. So there's no need for comment here because this code is very, very readable. All right, it's very, very plain and clean. And because of we are writing this code very, very good. Our code is looking very, very good. So the next thing is to generate a token. So I don't need to use comments here because everything is making sense here. Generate token, and then I will give it the user.id. Okay. It expects the user ID, so I'll give it. So this user that we got from the database, after creating the user, the Prisma will return it for us. So we are using it here. Say user.id. Then the next thing is we will now say res.status. The status is going to be 200. All right. 200 is that everything is okay. We can also say 201, but 200 is that everything is okay. Status.json. All right. Then we want to send, we'll send an object. The first one is going to be a token, the token that we generated. And the second one is going to be, now, in this code here, we are sending everything about the user, but I wouldn't want us to do that. Okay. So I would want to say, because we don't need to send the password back to the user. Password is not supposed to be there. So I might just come and say, user is this. So I want to give um, um, okay. I want to give everything except the password. There is no need. Let's just give vital information like email. Let's just give vital information like email. We give email. We give, let's say we give first name. Okay, we give middle name. Let's not give everything and we give last name. Okay, so it is to your discretion. If you want to give more or you want to give less, that's up to you. But for me, I don't want to give password. Okay, so no, I don't want to. This is Okay, we are taking this email and first name from here. That's where we are getting it from. Okay, so we are not getting it from the user that was generated from here. So now everything is cool. So now our sign up endpoint is going to work now. All right, it's going to work perfectly. So if I save it, all right, if I save it, now we can go on to test it. Okay, or should we just continue after? Let's continue with the login. Okay, so we can go on to test it. Okay, so now we have our everything is okay now. So let's go and test. Okay, so let us go and try to set up. Let me check something. My database. I hope I'm using the right database because I've been working with this a lot now. FinApp DB. Okay, that's what I'm using here. All right, so that doesn't matter. Your own database should also be working for you. So I'm going to say npm run dev, okay, to make sure. Let's check our sign up. Oh, no, 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 no. Everything is not even ready. No, no, no. There are a couple of things we still need to do. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. There are a couple of things we still need to do. So let's continue. So now I have already explained every of these things. We are validating the email, we are hashing the password, we are creating the user, we are also auto creating the wallet, and we are returning a JWT token. So now there are a couple of things we need to do before we do the testing. Don't bother. So let's go to the login. Let's also create the login part. So inside of this auth.control, instead of this auth.control, I'm just going to collapse this sign up. So now this is the logic that will process our sign up. That is why it is in the controls folder. So let me create another one for the one that would, let me create the one that will log in. Let me create the one that would handle login from logic. So async, and then is also going to take rec as a request. Is going to take it as a request. Is going to also take response as a response, and then it is an arrow function. All right. Now let's take a look at the code. So now we expect that the user is going to give us their email and password when they are logging in. So we have to destructure it again here. Okay. So we destructure it again. So we'll do const destructure. So we'll say rec dot body. All right. So we'll destructure the email and the password. All right. So the next thing is we now need to find the user. So we are going to use Prisma to find the user with with this email. If we get it, that means the user exists. But if we don't get it, that means we'll throw an error. We'll return an error message back to the client. So that is what we are going to do here. So the next thing is, let us get this user with this email. Let us be sure that this user exists in our database. So we say await prisma dot user dot find unique, and then we are saying where. If you don't understand this thing, is okay. We taught all these things in our Prisma class. So now just copy my code, all right? So the next thing is we want to check if the user does not exist, okay? So if the user is null, if the user does not exist, what do we want to do? We want to return res.status 404, sorry, 400. We could even use 404. Okay, it's okay. 400, that we want to tell them, oh, this user does not exist. So I'm sending a JSON object and I have this message attribute in it, and I'm saying invalid user login. I can just give this invalid user login details. Okay. So give any message you want to give. That's to your discretion. Okay. So invalid credentials, invalid user login. So what we are doing here is that we are getting the email and password from what the user is sending us from the front end application, and then we are checking. We are asking Prisma, does this user exist with this? Is there any user with this email address that exists? If Prisma says no, we do not get any user, that means this user will be null. So that is where we send this error message. So, but if the user is valid, all right, that means if there is a user, so after here, that means there is a user exists. So we need to compare. So we need to compare their password. So we say await. We are going to use that compare password. All right, that compare password. Okay, so but make sure that you're importing this compare password. Look at it. Make sure you have it here, compare password. If not, it will not work. Beside this hash password guy. Okay, so compare password. The compare password will take in the user password and then the hashed password. So where are we going to get this hashed password? We are going to get it from the user dot password. Remember, we are getting this user from the database. So if this user exists, that means the user has a password and the password is hashed. So that is what we are using here. So this is the plain password that the user is using to log in, and this is the hashed password. So once we get it, we are going to store it in a variable called is valid. So this will return true or false. All right, this compare function password will return true or false. It will return a Boolean value. So if it is valid, then we can now go on and generate a token. So let's continue with our code. So if this is true, that means we are returning. So if it's not true, if it's not true, that means the user gave us a wrong password. So I can just copy this. Okay, I'll say if is not true, okay, I'm negating this value. These are the things you learn in JavaScript. These are the things I teach in JavaScript. This negation operator, all right, is what I teach in Java. So I'm not going to explain it here. So if it is not true, what am I going to do? I'm going to send this message back again. Invalid login details, all right? But if not, if everything is cool, then I'm going to generate a token. I will go say, I will use the generate token, and then I will give it the user ID. So I'm getting it from user.id, and then I am going to save it. I'll call it token. Okay. So remember that this generate token is coming from, we created the function and it is creating a token for us. After creating the token, then we need to send a res.json to the user. So the same thing we did with we are not going to send everything. We are not going to send every user. So the same thing we did with the sign up here, that's what we are going to do here. So we are just going to send the token. We're just going to send the token and a couple of user information. Okay. So I'm going to go back. I've copied it. I'm going to go back to collapse it. Okay. So let me just expand this so that, so I've copied it. So look at what I have here. Okay. So, all right. So I don't have the first name, middle name, and last name. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to say first name. Where am I getting it from? I'm getting it from user dot, or I can create another type, another user type that I can send. There's another thing I can do, but we might do it in the next class. So, but it would make more sense if I'm using, okay, that would be better. User dot middle name and then last name, user dot last name. So now our login is great. So once we have validated this user, we are now going to send a token. we'll send it, we'll generate a token and send it to them alongside with some of their details. Okay. So now this is perfect. So now we have already explained everything there. We first of all find the user, get once we get the user, if the user exists, if the user does not exist, we give an error message. If it exists, we compare the password, generate JWT token, and then send them a login success. So the next thing is to go to our auth route. So we are going to create another route, all right, auth.route.ts. So let's go in our routes folder. We might be deleting some files here. So in our route folder, all right, okay, in our route folder, I'm going to create, I'll say auth.route. So all.routes.ts. Okay, auth.route.ts. So everything that has to do with authentication content, login and sign up will go through this route. So the first thing we do is to import router, from Express. Okay. The next thing we do is to use this router to, then we import sign up and login later. So we use this router to create a router and then we export it. So let's go on and do that. So I could also import, um, sign up. I could also import sign up and also import login like this. All right, so we are good here. So just do the same thing. Then I will create a router out of, let me call it auth router. So using the router constructor function. Then I will now come and create a route. I'll say auth router.post. So if there's any post request coming on this endpoint, sign up. This will handle it. To be handled by the sign up controller. All right. Okay. Then another endpoint is if you're coming from endpoint post and it's also the login endpoint, it will be handled by these are the things I took time to explain in my full stack web development course. So these controllers, now we have everything cool now. So the next thing is to let us export our export default router. Sorry, auth router. Okay, so delete this, please. This was a mistake. All right. So now this is cool. So this is our router now. So we will now go to the app.ts file. So the next is to go to the app.ts file and connect this our router. So just like we did for the user router we created that time. So we'll go to our app.router, app.ts. So just like we did this one here, we could also do another one. So we'll say, if we have any endpoint that is coming from like API /out, then it will be handled by our auth router. Okay, so we are good. It's handled by our auth router. Okay, so this is perfect now. So I will save it and we are good. So the next thing is for us to now, I have explained this already. So let us go and test it on Prisma. So I will first of all start my server. So come on, let's start our server. So I can even expand this. So our server, all right, so our server will say npm run dev. Finger crossed, we don't have any errors. But if we have, we tackle it. That's what we are. We are programmers, we are developers. We don't fear errors. If we have errors, we fix the bugs. Okay. So now everything is cool. All right. So our API, everything is good. Our login and sign up. So let's go and let's go. Let me use Postman. So if you don't have Postman, please install Postman so that we can use, that's what we'll be using for now as our front end client. So my Postman is opening. So I'm going to test this. You're going to see the authentication that we are going to have. I'm going to test every authentication that is possible here. Allow access. Okay. So what is the endpoint that we are looking for? We are going for. Remember in our app.api, we say that any route, any endpoint that is coming from API auth should be handled by the auth router. And if the auth router, all right, where is it again? If I go to the auth router, if I go to the auth router, we said that if it is API, if it's sign up, it will be handled by the sign up controller. Is login to handled by the login controller. So now let's go to Postman. So this is how you test. So we are pointing our local host, our server is running on localhost 5000. So we want to log in or we want to sign up. So we are going from this API. So I say /API /auth. It has to be like this login. Now, if I try to log in, remember, I do not have any data. Okay, I have a new database, so I do not have any data. So if I try to log in, let's say I am giving the body. Okay, let's say I'm giving the body. So I'm using the raw JSON format. So I am going to give, I'm very sure that this is a new database. I don't have any I don't think I have any data. So sorry, it's taking some time to actually load. I don't know why. Okay, so it's here. So now let's assume now that I don't think I have any data like this. I don't think I have any user with this user ID. So, and I'm trying to log in. Let's see if it will allow it. So this is the authentication we are talking about. If I hit enter, all right, it says, okay, internal error. Okay, this is internal error. This has to do with, um, what's the error? Okay, let me go to the server and see what the error we are getting from there. It's running perfectly. Login. Okay, so let me see the mistake I made. API auth login. So what is the error? Okay. There's something wrong I even did. So let me go and fix it. Okay. So there is an error here and I can't even figure it out. So there's something else I need to do. I did not try catch my code. That's very wrong. So let's go back. Let's go back to our this login. Let's go back to our login. So I should wrap everything in here inside of a try catch block. Okay. I should wrap everything inside of here instead of a try catch block. So in case there is any error. So I'm going to take everything inside of here. All right. I'll cut it out. Then I will use try catch. So I will catch the error if there is any error. It will help in debugging. And I will say error is of any. And then if there's any error, oops. So just do what I'm doing now. This is part of development. As you're doing, you test and you find errors. So I'm going to say, if there's any error, I'm going to say console.log. I'm going to console.log the error so that I will understand where the error is coming from. So, but I'm just going to paste. So instead of the try catch, I'll paste this thing. So everything's saved, everything is fine like this. So look at what I have here. So I could also do the same thing for the sign up. All right. So look at my code here now. Okay. So look at the code. You can just take time and pause it. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing for the sign up. Or let me reduce. So I will do the same thing for the sign up. I'm going to take everything. I'm going to take everything. I'm going to take everything out. I will cut it and I'll use the try catch again. So I would catch here. And then the error is going to be of type any. And if there's any error, I want to console.log it. So error. And then, okay. So everything is okay now. So let's go and retry again so that we understand what the error is all about. So where's my terminal? I'm looking for my terminal. All right, so let me bring up the terminal again. Okay, so I'll continue with this. So I would stop it. I'll stop it and run again. So since there is an error, I don't know where it's coming from, but it will now help us with the error. So I would hit back again. I will hit back again, and then I will go to my, while it is coming, I expect the error to happen again. So while it is coming, I'll go back to my, once the error message is here, I'll go back to the server, to the terminal, and see what error I'm having there. So I believe maybe the error would have come by now. So look at the error. It says, it says, okay. So it says invalid Prisma user dot unique. So Prisma dot user dot unique. Okay, so where's the login? Okay. All right. So email password. Um, environment variable not found. Database URL. Oh my God. So they didn't find my database URL. Okay. I have database URL here. I have it here. So it says environment variable not found, database URL. Okay, so this is database URL. I have it. Where is my Prisma? Okay. All right. Let me not waste your time. Let me fix it. Okay. But I would it would have been, it makes sense that you watch me fix it, but let me not make the video too long. Okay, so I've been able to fix it. Now that is one thing with software development. You have errors, you fix them. But my error was coming from my Prisma. My Prisma was not generated well. So in case you have such errors, just let me know. All right, this is the reason why you need a mentor. When you have this kind of errors, you need someone that will help you out since you're just a beginner. So now I've been able to, now I can do login and I can do sign up. So, but before I do this again, let me show you something. All right. Now, if you take a look at my login code, my login has the try catch block I showed you last time. Okay. Now, but when there is an error, we are catching it here, and then I'm doing console.log, I'm consoling it then, but make sure you have this so that in case there is any error, the client will have the error message. So make sure you have this line of code. Also have it in your sign up too. Okay, but don't worry. If you want the GitHub repo of this branch, I will give it to you. Okay, so that you can have all the code. The code is available on GitHub. So you just ask for it, type in the comment section that you want it. So, but if you're enjoying this class, why don't like it? Why don't comment? Why don't share? Okay, subscribe if you've not subscribed, turn on notifications. Okay. So now, so now I already have I have done some creation already. So now let me go and create a new user. So I will come here. Instead of login, I will go to the sign up. Okay. So remember that this is the endpoint we are using. So I will come and give email. I would give first name. So, but this first name now, I'm going to change it to something like John. All right. And then I would also come and give a middle name. Although the middle name is not compulsory. Okay. Then I would come and give, oops, I'll come and give last name. So, um, last name could be Kennedy. John Kennedy. Okay. So now I think I have everything I need here. So now let me now send. Okay, let me now send it. So look at what we are going to have here. When I run this send, okay, we are going to get stuff here. So if I run send, it is coming up, it is coming up, it is coming up. So it's processing. It says email already in use. You can see that everything is working fine. It says that. Remember, when we were signing up, we checked if the email already in use. So since the email is already in use, I could just say, let me change this email to only pausing. And then when I hit and send again, it is going to create that user for us. Now, you can see now we have the new user. All right. The new user email is pausing@gmail.com. First name is John, blah, blah, blah. So, and we've got this token. So this is now the token that we'll be using to contact for authentication. Now, if I also go now, if I change to sign up and I go to login, so all the endpoints are working correctly now. All right. So, but if you have issues, contact me. I will help you out. So if I hit login now, okay. So actually, it did log in. Okay. So, but this is the log. So it did log in and it gave us this. So now, if you want to also confirm, we can go to our terminal. All right, let's go to our terminal. Let's open another terminal and then let's run nps. La, 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 la. So let's run the nps studio, the Prisma studio. I will switch to backend. So I will say nps Prisma studio. I hit enter. This could also work for you if you have installed Prisma. This would also work for you. I will hit enter to open the Prisma Studio for me so that we are going to see the users that we have signed up. So we are going to see our database. Okay. So it's okay if you have some confusions. It is okay. Just contact me. So if I go to the users now, we are going to see all the users that we have here in this database. You can see we have Alice. All right. We have Paulson, we have John. So we have 3 users in this database now. So everything is correct now. So we have tested with Postman. All right. We saw the token, we got the token, and we got the other user details that we have. So always hash your password, use JWT expiration, never expose your secrets, validate inputs. Okay, that will be done later. Okay, so what did we achieve today? We created a secure sign-up API. Our sign-up API is very, very secured. Okay, we created a secure login API, a password hashing, JWT authentication, and we created an automatic wallet. So once we create a user, the user has a wallet. So if I go back to, let me go back to now this is the Prisma Studio, but remember we did not create any wallet at all, but automatically in our code, Prisma created this wallet for us. So the wallet is coming. Okay, you can see this is the wallet. All right, and they have zero balance. All right. So now what next? In day 5, we will build our auth middleware. So we are going to build a middleware that will handle our authentication. We are going to protect our routes, our sign-up path, and our API route. We're going to protect them. We are going to create a logged in user profile. So don't miss out on day 5. Okay, I want you to comment in the comment section day 4 done. If you were able to complete this, type comment day 4 done. But if you didn't, please reach out to me. Drop in the comment section. Tell me what is your challenge. I will help you out. Okay, so like the video if you're impressed, and then subscribe for day 5. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll see you in day 5. Okay.